Blog Talk Radio.
I was lost, but now I'm found. I'm a child of Israel. I heard the sound. Please give me the strength to stand today. With my eyes towards the east, show me the way. Guide my path, show me the way to Zion. I opened up the book and see that the apple of your eye included me, and through the tribulation I know I must stand. Show me the way to Zion. I'm on my knees, laying my life on the line. I'm begging, please don't let me fall. Give me strength. Place my feet, guide my path, show me the way to Zion. I feel the Spirit calling me back home. Oh, been traveling with my family. I know it won't be long. When can you gonna look for me? I'll be gone home. Yeah, He's really calling us back home to Zion. I'm on my knees. I lay down the life. I'm begging, please don't let me fall. Give me the strength. Give me the strength. Let my feet guide my path. Way to Zion. I'm on my knees. Laying my life on the line. I'm begging, please don't let me fall. Give me strength. Lay my feet, guide my path. Show me the way to Zion.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another episode of Hebrew Culture's Life. This is our brother and Deacon Kazak. I'm just going to go over the announcements and a couple things before we pull Deacon Xavier in. I think I see the brother in the queue now, actually. So we'll go into prayer. Then we'll go into the announcements, and then we'll pull Deacon Xavier in. And let's get into it. All right. If there's any brothers out there right now with your head covered, please uncover your head. Any sisters that are out there, please cover your head. We're going to go into the Lord's Prayer as we do most weeks. We'll say it in the Hebrew first, then in the English. Then we'll go into the announcements. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kadash Haya Shamka, Ahaya Malak Watka, Tabarataza Wanka, Haya Ishi Ba Arataza, Kaya, Haya Bashamayim, Latan Lanawa, Lakam, Kawayam, Wasalak Nawa, Kawabat Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawabat Yanawa, Wala'a, Tabaya Nawa, Banasa Wayan, Abba Hayashi Nawa, Manrakaya Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha, Tapara, La'ai, Walamyam, Aman. That is our Father, who art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. We're going to go into the announcements. One moment. Let me pull them up. Okay, the announcements here. You can find on the Sabbaths, we have Blog Talk, not on the Sabbath, excuse me, on Blog Talk Radio throughout the week. You can find us on blogtalkradio.com/GOC Church. Blog Talk Radio right now is currently on 3 nights a week. On Sundays, you have Hebrew Culture's Life with the host, Brother and Deacon Xavier. On Wednesdays, we have the Search Engine International with Brother and Deacon Gaja and Elder Ricard Shiar hosting. And on Fridays, we have Friday Night Sabbath coming out of Babylon, hosted by Elder and Brother Ramar. All those shows are archived on the Blog Talk Radio page. You can listen to those whenever you wish. On the Sabbaths, we have the live Sabbath classes done by Elder Lawyer and Elder Ricard, usually around 10 or 11 Eastern Standard Time. Those are also archived, and also we have the law class with Elder Gabar, and that's usually around 3, and those are also archived. Any day throughout the week, you can catch up on all of those classes, whether they be the Blog Talk or the Ustream. Okay. Anyone that is in the Pittsburgh area, which is where I am right now, you can contact us via email at goccpgh@gmail.com. And also, if anybody wants to contact, I have to get the toll-free number. I'll be sure to put that in there. I don't have it on my list. Salakia for that, brothers and sisters, but we will put that back out there to contact the main number for the church. If you want to get in contact with a deacon or elder in your area, it's a toll-free number. I don't know it right offhand, but we will put that back in there for you. Okay, we're going to go now and play another song, and on the other side, hopefully we'll see Deacon Xavier in there. All right.
What if he never came? All the dirt I did.
of my sin, man, I'm so glad. Oh, 'cause I don't stand a chance if it's based on my goodness, and I don't stand a chance if it's all about me. So now I'm leaning and depending on the fact that he died for me. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I was in my sin, couldn't get out. Yeah, anything that's gonna bring me out. I'm so grateful. Yeah, I'm so thankful. I was in my sin, and I couldn't get out. Oh yeah, anything that's gonna bring me out. I was headed for destruction, and I know it, but I'm so glad, yeah, that he had a change in plans in my future. I'm so glad, 'cause I ain't stand a chance with the faith that I was living. I ain't stand a chance only thinking about me. So now I'm leaning and depending on the fact that he died for me. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. I was in my sin, yeah. Couldn't get out. Nothing's gonna bring me out. But it's at that time. Oh, I'm so grateful. Oh, look what he did for me. Couldn't get out. Oh yeah. Nothing's gonna bring me out. Oh yeah. See, I was in trouble, and I needed someone to help me out. Oh yeah. He came along, and he gave me a second chance. Oh yeah. But he proved me wrong. Oh, he took the time to make it right. Oh yeah.
Oh, wretched man that I am.
Whoa! I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. Oh yeah. Couldn't get out. Then he sent the sun. So grateful. I was in my sin. And I couldn't get out. Yeah. Oh yeah. Look at what he did, 'cause he didn't have to do it. He could have made them new people instead, forgive them, but he didn't do that. No, he put on his flesh and he came and got up on the cross and gave his life. Oh, didn't have to do that. Yeah, I'm so grateful.
All right. Shalom, brothers and sisters. We're back. We got brother and Deacon Xavier in. Deacon Xavier, how you doing?
Shalom, all is well. How about yourself?
All right, brother. How was your Sabbath?
Sabbath was cool, man. We relaxing. You know,
Okay.
It was laid back. Got to listen to Elder Lawyer put down that lesson that
Yes.
he organized that we wasn't listening to. So that was pretty cool. And man, everything's rolling, man. You know.
Right.
How about yours?
Same here, brother. It was all, I'll always say, no Shabbat is ever the same. We put out the same lesson that was brought out, from Elder Lawyer that he organized. That's what we brought forth here. And, we broke bread afterwards and, talked, and getting ready for the Feast of Dedication, brother.
All right, I hear a lot of had a lot of the brothers and sisters all across the states that's getting ready and prepared for Feast of Dedication, and I can't wait to see what come with, the videos and what the brothers and sisters.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I know it's going to be good all over. All the brothers and sisters all over. Did you want to...
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and introduce this new. We're gonna have a new segment, and this segment is gonna be called Sha'ar, Shema, Sha'ar, Shema Wa'ah. It means the gate news. Okay, the gate news, and when we first started establishing it, it was based on we're going to get information that's going on within the communities, what's really going on, concerning the news within different communities across the United States that has to do with the children of Israel and its focus and, what do they plan on doing with it, whether it be something good or whether it be something bad. And now we've established we're going to get more of the good stuff, because we need to know when we come out of this society and come out of this country, we need to come out and build for ourselves. So the same way that they would be building here and trying to do good, we could adapt and build somewhere else. So it's going to be called Sha'ar, Shema Wa'ah, and that is called, that is news. Now, the gate, of course, when you read in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, it's defined as the gates of the city were the place where the Oriental resorted for legal business, conversation, bargaining, and news. So that's exactly what's going to go here. It's going to go on for about 10 minutes each week, and that's what it's going to be called. Sha'ar, Shema Wa'ah, and, this is where we'll have conversation based on what's going on in our community and concerning the good news. So you can read that in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. A lot of things went on at the gate. The gate is also where you would bring someone to get stoned. So, the legal business. So people, instead of going to the judges and, the judge will be at the gate.
Okay. That's
where you will be judged at a lot of times. Well, not a lot of times, most of the time. It depends on what judge, you would go and sit before. But that's the new segment, and we'll have something concerning the community each week. And we'll talk about it for 10 minutes, and then we'll take one or two calls, and we'll have to move into the lesson. So, and just to remind all the brothers and sisters, you're listening in. Culture is life. This is, you're with the Gathering of Christ Church. And tonight's lesson is on hypnotizing the music, hypnotizing the masses. Usually we do television hypnotizing the masses. Now we're going to talk about music. That's the lesson for tonight. So, as we do provide all this information and all these scriptures, and we get deep into this topic, I have to remind everybody, take notes. Take notes. Have your highlighters, have your pens, papers, and notepads. As the scripture says in Sirach, according to wisdom, Sirach 42:7, deliver all things in number, and wait and put all in writing that thou givest out or receivest in. That is wisdom and Hebrew culture, which is life. All right, so let's go into this news. Sha'ar, Shamwa'ah, I got to say that. I'm going to get it right. Sha'ar, Shamwa'ah. There we go. So what you got that's going on in the community this week?
Well, I was wanting to talk a little bit more about the look at here, the Common Core system that is going to go into the school district, and just related to what we went through when we were in school and what our students are going through now. Just having any type of dealing with the school, knowing what you're dealing with, it's a little different. I mean, just alone from the metal detectors and everything, but that's another topic. But what is planned, with the curriculum and things of that nature for the students that are enrolled in the schools now, and how that affects our community.
Okay.
All right. What the first thing that I wanted to touch on was the school and how it, like I first mentioned, how school was when we were in school, and that was like, I graduated in the 80s, so I'm just putting that out there. But socially, even at that time, we could see a separation of what our education was compared to the outer suburbs. I went to a high school that was in the inner suburbs, but it still was, more comparable to an inner city school. And we could always see, the difference in, the activities, and just the social aspect of the whole school period, from our school to what was going on out in the suburbs. And it's a different demographic of people, so where we're going there. Also, through the gentrification that was going through in our neighborhoods, which would decrease the tax base, so then you have a smaller school district. So then they're forced to merge and make these bigger school districts where actually, the ones on the small, and they still clump them together, and they're dealing with the same things. So you even at that time, looking back on it, we have to approach it from a, hypothetical perspective and say, okay, something was going on then even. Now that we're waking up and we're operating within Hebrew culture, we can see that something was going on then, and it's just being fused into what, our children and, the other children of our nation are dealing with now, children and parents. So,
I see what you mean, because when you talk about the whole gentrification and the pushing of the so-called minorities to one area and to merge their school because of lack of taxes to pay for the public school, and that in turn just it increases the school, the classroom size. So instead of having like 20 children to teach, you'd have 30. And, that's a little bit, child doesn't get that attention that he needs from the teacher if he does need to be, if he does need more education. So now they're taking attention away from the children, which, the parents are supposed to be providing to them daily. So I definitely see like a motive of, to socially disconnect from parents parents and teachers through the merged schools.
Right. And also with the providing different skills, like and we spoke on this at one time, I don't want to go to, but even with the, like, wood shop and metal shop and like the trades, all those are gone pretty much from the whole inner city school systems, no matter where you are around the country, all that's pretty much gone, so, they don't even want to give us a chance to do anything with our hands So they're just trying to streamline us through, you know, what they call education.
Wow, because that would make total sense. We merged the schools, and now we can't put these certain trades like carpentry and you know, how to work with metals and, you know, certain educations, so since we had to make a bigger classroom size, it wouldn't fit. It wouldn't fit for that classroom to just learn carpentry. As to if you have 15 children or 10 children, you could have them all on, you know, on one curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
But to have 30 same, it has to be more evenly rounded to fit all 30.
Right.
Versus the 50 or 15. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And even adding on to that, you know, they always bring it back to the money, you know, which is you know, ironic because, you know, the whole Common Core system is pushed, is funneled down to the economic system. You know, I saw something, you know, we can read that in a second off of the a Common Core state standards site I saw, just their mission statement, as we go and touch on the curriculum. But, you know, this whole thing, you know, like you said, you know, we're bringing this forth so that the brothers and sisters out there can understand that, you know, us operating within the Hebrew culture, you know, we have to understand what is happening, and that this is geared toward our nation. So, you know, to be prepared and to operate in the right way, because it's all hand in hand with the mark of the beast. Like the brother and elder Ramar was, you know, bringing out on Friday with and the sister that called in, it was I can't remember what she said her exact position was, but you spoke with her and touched on the curriculum somewhat, and what she was bringing forth in the curriculum. And it, you know, when I heard that, I definitely wanted to, you know, just touch on that a little bit. I just thought it was something good for us to mention at the beginning of the show.
Okay, yeah, because I remember Elder Mar talking about the whole biometric system, and yeah, that Common Core. How is Common Core emerging in as far as the school systems now? Like, what's some of their? Do you know any of their curriculums, or what's their main focus? Because I know the sister was bringing out some information, but what have you fairly researched concerning Common Core?
Okay. I just came across this mission statement. I'm actually on, and I give this to the brothers and sisters. It's on corestandards.org. Okay, and you know, we won't go into a bunch of information, but the mission statement reads: the Common Core state standards provide a consistent, clear understanding of what students are expected to learn, so teachers and parents know what they need to do to help them. The standards are designed to be robust and relevant to the real world, reflecting the knowledge and skills that our young people need for success in college and careers. With American students fully prepared for the future, our communities will be best positioned to complete successfully in the global economy. So looking at that alone, you know, it's saying, you know, right at the top in that first sentence is saying that what students are expected to learn. I mean, we understand that it's going to be, you know, a curriculum that they're designing to make us cogs in their system anyway. Okay. And then at the end of that statement, you know, he's just it's saying that they'll be successful in the global economy, which we know is going to go directly toward the mark of the beast. And that's what clicked in my mind immediately when I saw that.
Yeah,
so,
it sounds like the whole New World Order.
Exactly.
A global economy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're going to leave us right behind, as they've always done. When you talk about the whole left behind, they're going to leave us behind on the whole economic standards and focus their their global economics towards the hand-picked few that they choose out that are in the suburbs, So, yeah, that sounds exactly like what it is. We're gonna educate on a global scale, and the people that are not already up on the curriculum, because everyone, all these the suburbs and the ghettos have different levels of curriculum, different levels of education. One gets higher, one gets lower. So, of course they're not going to teach the lower class global economics. They're going to keep them right in the ghettos that they are, as they have before. So, yeah, I can definitely see that.
Right. And one other thing is when you're on this site, and there's a big map of the United States, and when you click on it, it says in the states, and then it says 45 states, the District of Columbia, 4 territories, and the Department of Defense Education activity have adopted the Common Core state standards. The Department of Defense Education. It's putting it right out there.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So, brothers and sisters, we have to, understand, what we're operating in the, what the brother puts together here, and, for us to have this forum, what the elders put together for us to have this forum to, bring out the information, definitely, take heed to what's happening right in front of you, as we speak. There's some other information on there too, X. There's like tabs for mathematics standards and English language art standards and things of that nature. So there's some information on there.
Well, let's see what the people got to say, because now we're getting more pressed for time. This music ties in the masses. I'm
okay, brother. All right.
So if there's anybody that has anything to add to this information, and let's keep it short and simple, and then we'll jump into the lesson.
All right.
So we'll grab 2 calls.
I see one in here, brother from the or brother or sister from the 612. We'll grab them right now.
Okay.
Caller from the 612 area code. Did you have a question or comment?
Well, you better live by the word and quit acting ignorant.
All right, take that off.
Yeah. I think they just had pressed 1 by accident. All right, we can go right into it, brother. All right.
Okay, well, we'll give it a few seconds if anybody else have anything to add to it. You call in 646-200-4309, or you could press the number 1, and we'll give that just a few more seconds, and then we'll jump in hypnotizing the masses.
All right. Couple more seconds. Did you have anything planned for the feast coming up, brother?
Yeah, we're going to gather.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we'll see what happens from there.
Right.
So what was y'all plan?
We're going to gather here. We got sisters are working on some things here, and I'm going to put it out there, on whatever form I can, for the people. If they want to join in this area, they can contact us, via phone or email, and we'll reach out to them. Also, while we're waiting for it, if any other calls want to come in queue, at the opening up I didn't have the toll-free number for brothers and sisters to call if they wanted to reach out to a deacon and elder in their area. That 888 number, do you have that?
Yeah, I got it. It's 888 number is 330-3330. So 888-334-3330.
Okay.
All right.
Water, brother.
So did we have anybody that came into the in the queue there?
No one knew, brother.
All right. So
All right.
let's jump into it.
Let's get it. Brothers and sisters, we're back. We're getting ready to get into it.
All right. So the lesson tonight is music hypnotizing the masses. It's a bunch of precepts, a bunch of information that we're going over, but we all know from coming into the truth that music is hypnotizing the masses. Not all music is satanic and from the devil himself, but the music that is most of the music that is mainstream is affecting the mind daily. If you listen into any hip-hop radio station, and I've been in many different cities, you can go to one city on the East Coast and to another city on the West Coast, guess what? They're playing the same music. They not only play the same music, it turns out that they play the same music hour by hour, or every other hour. They'll play the same music. So you might have one song talking about Little Wendy or the girl that's demonly possessed with legions. Their songs are going to come on every 30 minutes. So just imagine sitting around listening to a song that's saying the same thing over and over again. If that song stopped and you left out, you're not hearing the song, next thing you know, you're singing the song, or the song is still playing in your mind. A lot of the old school songs, when they started implementing, we got some of this information in here, when they started implementing, to hypnotize the masses, most of these old school songs, you could still remember easily without it being played. Sometimes that's the point of a course, is to hypnotize a brother or a sister or the masses to say the same thing over and over and over again. So when we talk about television and music, it's almost one and the same, but television only has, vision. Television only has vision. Not everyone has a television. More people have access to the radio than to the television. You're going to see people more affected by television more affected by the radio than they are the television. You're going to see that, and we're going to pull it out. Why? How? What's really going on within society that people are being hypnotized? In fact, how are they being hypnotized? And what is what is hypnosis? Okay? Let's get that first. Let's define hypnosis, because we always talk about television hypnotizing the masses. Now we're in music hypnotizing the masses. Let's define hypnosis. And we're going to get that from Wikipedia. So let's go ahead and read that definition in.
All right. Hypnosis.
No, that's not Wikipedia. That's, where did I get that from? You can just type it in and define it on Google. Go ahead.
Okay. Hypnosis. Definition 1. An artificially induced altered state of consciousness characterized by heightened suggestibility and receptivity to direction.
Okay, read that for me one more time.
An artificially induced altered state of consciousness characterized by heightened suggestibility and receptivity to direction.
Okay, so let's pay attention first to this first definition. To be hypnotized is to alter your state of consciousness. So we've all heard of being unconscious. So you are in a state of consciousness without hypnosis. But when you are hypnotized, you're in an altered state of consciousness, which can eventually lead to what? Unconsciousness. Consciousness. That's why when you see in some of these movies, maybe you've been to a magician show, or maybe you've been, these different places, they can unconsciously do things. Even in the movies, they show these type of hypnosis actions. Characterized. Now listen to this. This is really, you sit there and you think, well, I've never been hypnotized. Well, guess what? Characterized by heightened suggestibility. So what are they doing? They're heightening suggestibility. So they're suggesting for you to do something. And that's when we talk about subliminals, right? But subliminals can just pop up, not by hypnosis. So when you talk about subliminals, you may be watching a program and you just see McDonald's pop up. That's not hypnosis. Hypnosis, again, is when they alter your state of consciousness, characterized by heightened suggestibility. So they characterize your altered state of consciousness. So they took you from being conscious, and now they're giving you suggestions to do something. And then it goes on and says, and receptivity to direction. So we've all seen this amongst, in the movie theaters, and how they hypnotize people and make them bark like dogs, or crawl on the ground, or, other crazy stuff. So they were hypnotized first, taken from a conscious state of mind, and to be conscious, it means to be aware. They became unaware. And in their unawareness, they received suggestions on what to do. Not only suggestions, but directions on how to do it. That's hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
So you're listening to the radio, and all you're hearing is vulgar music. There's no reason for me to mention it because we've all listened to it. You heard vulgar music. Next thing you know, that's what they're doing on the weekend. Why? Because they've been listening to it all week. It might not even be every weekend that they're doing it, but every day. Suggestibility and direction was given to them. Not only that, they altered their state of consciousness. And believe it or not, brothers and sisters, music is one of the very ways that they use hypnosis. And, now we talk about hypnosis. In a couple of weeks, end of this month, we'll be having a guest on, giving us information concerning hypnosis on the television and through frequency, which that is to say music. So when we talk about hypnosis, you are unaware, you're unconscious, and now someone is suggesting that you do something. Unconsciously, you do it. Unaware, you do it because you receive direction from that very person who hypnotized you. Read that next definition there.
A sleep-like condition.
A sleep-like condition. A sleep-like condition. Man, I mean that'll take you to another level. You just sleepwalking. You're just sleepwalking. That's a bad condition to be in, a sleepwalker. I remember watching, watching some of these television shows, and they say, in my sleepwalking, I end up running, I hit my head, and all these bad things was happening to me because I was sleepwalking. But people people fail to see how they still sleepwalk, even with their eyes being open, ears being open to hear, eyes could see. They're still in a sleep-like condition. Okay, so I think this next definition is from Wikipedia. Read that for me. That's psychology. Yeah, under Wikipedia. Go ahead.
Psychology, an artificially induced state of relaxation and concentration in which deeper parts of the mind become more accessible.
Hold on, right there.
Okay.
Hold on, right there. It says artificially induced state of relaxation. Hasn't the whole United States become relaxed? How do we know that they've all become relaxed? Because they all became overweight. That's one way of saying, okay, a society is not working hard at all. It says induced state of relaxation and concentration in deeper parts of the mind become more accessible. So we're going to open up your mind so you can be more, so we can be more accessible to it. That's what these hypnotists are doing, opening up your mind to be more accessible. So why do you think they have stealing, killing, and murder all over TV? So you can be more open to it. No matter how many black people die out on the street, you're open to being, slaughtered as a nation. Because you see it every day on the news. Oh, this person died last night. There was 16 people dead, found dead this morning because of a shootout. You have now become relaxed. You have now accepted the fact that, yeah, we die out on the streets daily, when it should be unacceptable. Okay, go ahead and finish reading that part.
Used clinically to reduce reaction to pain, to encourage free association, etc.
Ooh. Clinically to reduce reaction to pain. No matter how painful your community, how much pain your community is in, it's reduced pain, association. So, now you're fully associated with it. Oh, this is normal. This is a normal thing. Like, hey, okay, yeah, the government is going to eventually fall, but hey, what can we do about it? And since you sit there and think you can do nothing, for yourself, of course you can't do nothing for the government. Who would want to do anything for this government? Except those that are what? Hypnotized. You sit there and you believe everything is okay. No matter how many drugs you receive, that reduces the pain. You still have a problem, don't you? This is what music is for. The music that's introduced to the masses through radio. This is what this is for, to reduce reaction to pain. And you hear some of the artists come out, well, I made this song because, one of the brothers died down in Texas, and this brother was all on TV. I'm going to make a song for him, or I'm going to make a song for that, or I'm going to make a song for this. Michael Jackson was known for that too. He just reduced the pain. And while we sitting there saying, yeah, can we all get along? They're sitting there saying, we're never going to get along. We're going to kill you all. That's what they're saying. But somehow they figured out, okay, we won't say that directly. Indirectly we're saying it. And while we're saying it, we're going to reduce your pain. In fact, we're going to open up your mind to make you accept what's going on in society. These are those that have been hypnotized. They accept society. What God are they using? What God are they using? Let's get this hypnosis, because this is directly linked to a God.
Right.
Directly linked to a God.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
In Greek mythology, hypnos was the personification of sleep. The Roman equivalent was known as Somnus. His twin was Thotnos. Their mother was the primordial goddess Nyx, meaning night. His palace was a dark cave where the sun never shone. At the entrance were a number of poppies and other hypnotic plants. His dwelling had no door or gate, so that he might not be awakened by the creakings of hinges.
So you got here hypnosis, and hypnosis had a twin. His name was Thanatos. And he represented death. Because if you the closer you are to sleep, if you sleep, the spirit sometimes leaves. The spirit sometimes leaves. Not only that, we say, those that are asleep or those that are dead. And then his mother was night. And these are what the Romans are dealing with. So they're going to make it to where, first they introduce night, bringing, not only hypnosis, but also death surrounding the population. So in the meantime, while we killing everybody off, everyone is so hypnotized, they just say, hey, it's okay. Or it's not that bad. We don't suffer that bad. Okay? So what else we got here?
Hypnosis' three sons or brothers represented things that could occur in dreams. Morpheus, Probator, or is that pronounced with an L like a PHF, or Phantatos, appeared in the dreams of kings. According to one story, Hypnos lived in a cave underneath a Greek island.
So that name Morpheus should remind everybody, of what movie that is. So that came out of Hypnos. So Hypnos produced Morpheus. And remember, Morpheus, as we read in the, you heard from one of the introduction songs there, Morpheus was bringing out Neo. So if Morpheus is bringing out Neo, and he was telling everybody, well, they all live in a dream state. They're all dreaming. So what is Morpheus really introducing to Neo? These people use these gods like, on a mass level. On a mass level, especially through music, especially through television. The television was made for the very reason to do one thing: hypnotize. That's it. That's what the television was made to do. So anytime you open up a channel, that's what they're trying to do. And you just lower your guard. You lower all your guards. You taking off your armor to be what? Entertained. Okay?
Wow. You just went deep there, Deaconess, because I never even tied them into the to those Greco-Roman gods. But when you look at Neo in that movie, just going back there for one quick second, when you look at Neo in that movie, who did he fall in love with?
I can't remember her name.
Trinity.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. That just took me there real quick, man. I never even tied him into the Greco-Roman gods there.
And now that you say that, Hypnos has 3 sons, and you read it: Morpheus, Forbedor, and that's the Trinity.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, they tied some things up in there. That's wild.
Wow. Yep.
Okay, so we got also here. Also, it's to remind all the brothers and sisters there is a war. There is spiritual warfare, and they use what they call psychological warfare. They use psychological warfare. So that's why we try to practice righteousness, right? We try to learn and practice the Hebrew culture. So as we learn and practice the Hebrew culture, shouldn't we be indoctrinating ourselves with Hebrew culture? Or should we be indoctrinating ourselves with the American lifestyle? So we have to introduce these things to say, look, this is what's going on in our society. This is one thing that's taking us away from our culture, from our righteousness. All right? So we use spiritual warfare, and they have resolved to call it psychological warfare. What's psychological warfare? Let's read that.
Psychological warfare, or the basic aspects of modern psychological operations, have been known by many other names or terms, including psyops, political warfare, hearts and minds, and propaganda. Various techniques are used by any sets of groups and aim to influence a target audience's value systems, belief systems, emotions, motives, reasoning, or behavior. It is used to induce confessions or reinforce attitudes and behaviors favorable to the originator's objectives, and are sometimes combined with black operations or false flag tactics. Target audiences can be governments, organizations, groups, and individuals.
So psychological warfare is not only on an individual level, they target groups. They target organizations. In fact, they target government. This is on a scale, a very high scale, especially when you talk about music. This is John Todd, by the way. He's just giving us some edification on psychological warfare, and it says various techniques are used by any set of groups and aimed and influence a target audience. Value system, so they're going to target what? Your value system. They're either going to tear it down or build it up. So you listening to the music, they try to set some values or take away all the values, and that's what's recently been happening. The taking away of all values and beliefs and emotions and motives, reasonings, or controlling your behavior. Why is it that you can be driving down the street and, to one person you got cut off, they get all crazy and, angry. Yeah, they might scream and yell at you from the window. Why are these people so angry? Why is everyone angry in this society? Why has love waxed cold? Psychological warfare. So if you're still listening to Little Wendy and all these other characters that's on the radio, your emotions, your beliefs, they affect your value system, and they infect your motives. So you're trying to produce for the kingdom of the Most High. They didn't instill some fruit in you that is unrighteous fruit. So you can no longer reason, and instead of your behavior being well and good in the Most High, they have hypnotized you to believe that your behavior is okay. Actually, it's not John Todd yet, but get this quote from John Todd. This next quote is from John Todd. Psychological warfare. That you can look at that on Wikipedia. All right, so they are using all types of warfare, propaganda. All types. This warfare is on many levels. Everywhere you look, it's a type of warfare. You can stand in the corner in the middle of the city. Subway is trying to kill you. McDonald's is trying to kill you. Walgreens is trying to kill you. All these different, then you can look in front of you at City Hall. Here they are. They setting up against you. This is why we have to leave this country. Warfare is no joke. Hypnosis is no joke, especially when you open yourself to it. Get this quote right here from John Todd.
Gotcha. What John Todd is speaking on is rock. This was back in the 1970s. At this day and age, the occult has grown in numbers and has not only took over rock and roll, but all types of genres, especially rap, a.k.a. hip-hop.
Wait, hold on. You reading that? You jumped down too far. It says a young man.
Okay. Salakia. All right. A young man asked me a question today. Can a witch cast a spell on any Christian? He can cast a spell on any Christian that's not live, that's not lived the life. If you want to straddle, you're wide open to any witch in the world. John Todd.
John Todd. So.
Okay.
Yep. And so here it is. John Todd. He was a brother that was high up in the occult, and he says a young man asked him a question: can a witch cast a spell on any Christian? Now, we could change this up and say, can a witch cast a spell on any Hebrew or any man that's following Christ? Can a witch cast a spell on any man that's following Christ? Any man that's following Christ that has left the path of Christ, and one that decides to fence straddle, they are wide open to any witch in the world. So you can open yourself up because you fence straddle. You can open yourself up because you're fence straddling. And that's why we present the lessons that we do to say, look, get off that fence. So number one issue with the children of Israel is they like to sit in a lukewarm position, not only are they ignoring, but they're saying it's okay. It's okay to be relaxed about the situations that we're in. We need to have a heightened awareness of what's going on in today's society. We need to have a heightened awareness on what these people are doing and others. So that way we can keep our guard up. Because if we don't know who the enemy is, let them know that we're actually getting hurt and harmed. How can we defend ourselves? That's like going to the doctor to get a flu shot. Totally defenseless. Play that clip right there with John Todd on musical spells.
Going in right now, brother. One moment.
So when we talk about, again, our number one issue is we sit in lukewarm. So while we sit in lukewarm and we fence straddle, we open ourselves up. We opening ourselves up. Scripture to grab based off of this spiritual warfare. Let's go to Romans chapter 6, and we're going to start at .12.
Okay. Book of Romans, chapter 6, and verse 12. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey it in the lust thereof.
So let not sin reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey in the lust thereof. So if you don't want sin to dwell in your body, you're not listening to things that will control whether you, in fact, that promote sin. You don't purchase things that promote sin. And I know we're in a society where all these things do promote sin, but you can limit, if you're in the truth, you still shouldn't be buying Jay-Z albums. You still shouldn't be buying Little Wendy's albums or, whoever else. This is one way that sin enters in. Because what? Action come after thought. If all you're hearing And then not only are you hearing, you're memorizing it. You know, it's going into your mind. So therefore, sin is dwelling there. The door can open at any time. Right? These are things you got to stay away from.
Now they yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin. But yield yourselves unto the Most High, as those that are alive from the dead, and your members are instruments of righteousness unto the Most High.
So don't yield your members as instruments. Don't yield your members as instruments. Yes, it could be meaning as a physical instrument, but also you sitting here repeating and recycling the same song that promotes doing drugs or, you know, pride or, you know, you sitting here promoting these things by what? By voice, and you're singing the song that's against righteousness. Yielding your body to unrighteousness.
For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace.
Actually, let's go back to chapter 5, and then we're going to read verse 17.
Romans chapter 5, verse 17. For if by one man's offense death reigned by, one much more they which receive abundance of grace and of the gift of righteousness shall reign in life by one Yeshua Christ.
Excuse me, wrong scripture. I need chapter 6, verse 19.
Romans chapter 6, verse 19. I speak after the manner of men, because of the infirmity of your flesh. For as ye have yielded your members servant to the uncleanliness and to iniquity unto iniquity, even so now yield your members servants to righteousness unto holiness.
So here it is. We speaking after the manner of men, so that you can understand. We breaking it down from a men's perspective on what men have put together, so that you can understand what righteousness is, and you can break away from the wickedness. And we have to do this because of the infirmity of your flesh. Some people are burning to go sin, to go transgress the law. So as ye have yielded your members to uncleanness and to iniquity, yield yourselves as members to righteousness and holiness, which in turn means all this time you've been listening to the radio, the television, these things that are used to hypnotize the masses all this time, and you've been buying Jay-Z albums and Kanye and I don't know who all these other guys are that's out there as of right. Oh, Drake. Oh, you talk about all these other guys. You've been buying their CD albums and all their music. Go buy some righteous music. Yield yourselves unto righteousness. Go ahead.
For when we were the servants of sin, you were free from righteousness.
So as you were servants to sin, you were free from righteousness, which in turn means you had no idea what righteousness was. Now you know what righteousness was. You know what righteousness is. So now you're in bondage to it. Is that clear, brothers and sisters? You're in bondage to it. Go ahead.
What fruit had ye then in those things whereof ye are now ashamed? For the end of those things is death.
Exactly. So the fruit and the things that you should be ashamed of, that you were proud of, and Paul saying here, the end of those things is death. So you knowing righteousness should be like, you should be representing life, not death. Go ahead.
But now, being made free from sin, and become servants to the Most High, ye have your fruit unto holiness, and the end everlasting life.
So when we talk about being made free from sin, how you free from sin? At first you was bondage to sin. Now you're free from sin and bondage to what? Righteousness. Free from sin don't mean you can sin now. Free from sin means you were in bondage to sin. You were in bondage to sin, but now you're free from it by not sinning. Through not sinning, you now begin to serve our high power, a higher. Ye have fruit unto holiness, and the everlasting, and the end, everlasting life. Right? Go ahead, read that last part.
For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of the Most High is eternal life through Yeshua Christ our Lord.
Okay, so we do know sin is action. And the problem is, that's why you have Christ talking about, okay, well, if you look upon a woman, you've sinned already. How can you look upon a woman and sin already? Because sin is action. If you think it in your mind, sin is action. So you sit here and look at a woman, the sin is not the very thought. The sin is the action. Sin is transgression of the law, right? So depending on what type of music you're listening to, since that is the topic, if you're hearing a man talking about, I'm going to get her number 17 times in a song, what you going to do after you didn't look at a woman or after you looked at a man? Because these things are constantly repeated into your head, pounded into your head to go do. And that's hypnosis. They've opened up your mind to accept sin. So you are committing adultery. Behind that very act is the sin. Sin is unto death. But grace, but the gift of the Most High is eternal life through Yeshua Christ our Lord, right? So that gift is eternal life through Yeshua, which is the grace. He's the grace. So we all, of course, know grace, a grace period. But once you know, you know. Eventually, a grace period goes, as in anything and anywhere else. Same thing with our Lord and Savior. If you keep coming late to righteousness, eventually you'll never make it to righteousness. And He knows that. If you keep coming late to a job, eventually they're going to fire you. Same thing with our God. You keep coming late to the job you need to do, to what's required of you, and you keep falling short, not falling short unknowingly, but falling short knowingly. Two difference, right? Once you receive this knowledge, it's on. That's it. There goes your grace period. Time to get it together, and that's it. Once you got it together, if you go back to wickedness, your righteousness will be forgotten. That's how easy it is. That's your grace period. Okay? So what John Todd was talking about was back in the 1970s. We'll go back to John Todd and what he was speaking on here.
Okay.
What he was talking about back in the 70s was that at that day and age, the occult was growing stronger and stronger and stronger. And at that time, over rock and roll. And rock and roll was producing music, like he said, straight for Satan. The occult grew stronger and stronger and stronger because now the kids looking at rock and roll started doing what? Going into the occult. So now they shifted from just rock and roll into all type of genres, especially the rap genre, because through rap they target the poor. Through hip-hop, they target the poor. Through R&B, they target the poor. These songs are enslaving the community to sin. The music is enslaving the brothers and sisters that listen to it to do exactly what they're saying in the music. All that mainstream stuff. And then you know, just to say there was a time where we did play a song and someone had a question about it, like it's that Lauryn Hill how does that song go? It's the Lauryn Hill song that talks about it got Jesus in it. So since, you know, the individual heard the Jesus in the song, you know, disqualified all the rest of the song, saying, well, you know, this might be unrighteous, or this could be unrighteousness. When, you know, if you analyze the song as uplifting, it's not making you sin. You know, in fact, it's trying to do they're trying to do their best to reverence our Lord and Savior, which, you know, you dealt with grandmothers who's like, you know, they can't speak Hebrew, but they'll say Jesus, trying to reach our Lord and Savior somehow, some way. Everyone is given their own measure of faith. So when we talk about, you know, music like this Lauryn Hill song that does have Jesus in it, is it causing you to sin? Is it instilling in your mind, oh, I got to go to church on Sunday to go worship Jesus? Is it instilling in your mind to go sin? These are questions you need to ask about your music. Because most of the Psalms represent the Most High, the Heavenly Father, doing righteousness. His righteousness is, you know, most of these Psalms in the book of Psalms. His righteousness is talking about, you know, the Psalms is talking about his righteousness, doing his will, and what his will is. So if you're listening to that type of music, then you're good. The other music you need to be careful of. Mainstream hip-hop or rap or R&B, and what they call an R&B nowadays. Ain't no telling what it is nowadays. So they're using this hip-hop and rock and roll, and you even hear it in country music. You know, you hear it in that also. Hip-hop is just not the only thing. It's even gospel music. Oh, man. Oh. What's his name? This dude's name is Kurt Franklin. And you catch him wearing pink lipstick singing gospel rap.
Man.
Pink lipstick and pink eyebrow, what do you call it? Yeah, makeup, whatever. He's wearing pink. Can't believe it. He just went totally feminine. So what are they doing? They hypnotizing the masses and heighten suggestibility and giving you direction. What are they suggesting? Oh, it's okay to wear feminine, for males to wear feminine product. You know, it's okay for a man to look like a woman. To others, it's actually direction. Direction to do what? Oh, I'm going to go look like him. I need to give me some pink lipstick. Pink eyebrow liner.
Wow.
Heightened suggestibility and direction. I'm sure you all heard of this this story. It's called The Secret Meeting That Changed Rap Music. I only got a small clip out of it, but you know, we're just going to read through it and just listen to it. Because if you're listening to hip-hop music, this is what they're indoctrinating you with. This is what they're indoctrinating you with. So listen and, you know, just take heed, especially for those that have children. Especially for those that have children who letting their children listen to this music. Even if they listen to country music. Go ahead and read that.
Okay, we're back at the John Todd musical spells part.
We're down at The Secret Meeting That Changed Rap Music.
All right. The subject quickly changed as the speaker went on to tell us that the respective companies we represented had invested in a very profitable industry, which could become even more rewarding with our active involvement. He explained that the companies we worked for had invested millions into the building of privately owned prisons, that our positions of influence in the music industry would actually impact the profitability of these investments. I remember many of us in the group immediately looking at each other in confusion. At the time, I didn't know what a private prison was, but I wasn't the only one. Sure enough, someone asked what these prisons were and what any of this had to do with us. We were told that these prisons were built by privately owned companies who receive funding from the government based on the number of inmates. The more inmates, the more money the government will pay these prisons. It was also made clear to us that since these prisons are privately owned, as they become publicly traded, we'd be able to buy shares. Most of us were taken back by this. Again, a couple people asked what this had to do with us. At this point, my industry colleague, who had first opened the meeting, took the floor again and answered our questions. He told us that since our employees had become silent investors in this prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remain filled. Our job would be to help make this happen by marketing music which promotes criminal behavior, rap being the music of choice. He assured us that this would be a great situation for us because rap music was becoming an increasingly profitable market for our companies. And as as employee, we'd be able to buy personal stocks in these prisons. Immediately, silence came over the room.
All right. So this was written by, anonymous, and they gave a storyline of what happened when these privately owned prisons began being built, was that they had to be filled. The people filling them were getting government grants and government funding to, to take care of the inmates and also get paid. So the people that were in there at the meeting just kept asking the question, like, what does this have to do with us? Well, privately selected to promote horrible rap music that promotes criminal behavior, not only criminal behavior, but women without dressing apparel, without apparel, should I say, with what's going on in this society. Sodomy, that's what you've been selected for. And this is the music of choice that needs to be promoted amongst the masses. And what happened across the room? Silence. Imagine sitting in this meeting and hearing, well, we have to control what we give to the people, and the way we control it and the way we're going to steer it, we're going to steer it in the direction of unrighteousness. Now, that's just terrible, because you're going to promote the whole society to become unrighteous individuals. That's what's going to happen. The whole society is going to become like that, and the people in this room are the responsible ones. The people in this room are the responsible ones. The same room that you now partake in because you still listen to this type of music. You promote the same music. So listening to the radio again, you hear the same songs played in every major city in America. Repeating, of course, not only the chorus repeating the same thing, but every 30 minutes repeating the same song. What are they doing? They're altering your state of consciousness. They're making you unaware. Suggestibility. So you sit here and you may be listening now. Listen. Have you ever been hypnotized? And some of us think, well, I've never been to a magic show. Oh, you never been to a magic show, huh? Well, what if you are the magic show? What if you are the magic show? Community is the magic show. Some of these writers, some of these artists that promote, actually, you know what? We're going to skip past this part. Okay, we're going to skip down here. To 1 Samuel chapter 16 and verse 13. Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 13. Going into David. Yep, go ahead.
1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 13. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. and the Spirit of the Most High came upon David. From that day forward, so Samuel rose up and went to Ramah.
All right, so we're going to go into King David's, one of King David's stories, and him being one of the main songwriters in Psalms. You know, we're going to analyze him and how he was operating in righteousness. So first, let's go to the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, and we're going to define music.
We're past it. Hold on.
Zondervan Bible Dictionary, we're going to define music. And why are we defining music? King David, was one of those who, he loved music, was also a musician. He was also a dancer, which we'll get next. And he went to war. He was a man of war also. So the one thing he did do was play music. So let's get some information concerning King David and his talents. And this way we can learn to adapt the same. Go ahead.
Zondervan Bible Dictionary definition of music. The history of Hebrew music, as well as the history of Israel's higher civilization in general, and the organization of the musical service in the temple, began with King David's reign. To King David has been ascribed not only the creation and the singing of psalms, but also the invention of musical instruments.
So you got here King David, it's not only ascribed the creation and singing of psalms, but also he invented musical instruments, right? And we know, like, for example, the harp was created by one of the grandchildren of Adam. Well, David also created some musical instruments. So let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 20, the 40 and verse 20, and we'll read just some words of wisdom here. What is music it's supposed to do for brothers and sisters?
All right. Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 40, and verse 20. All right. Wine and music rejoice the heart, but the love of wisdom is above them both.
Okay, so wine and music rejoice the heart. So when you play music, it rejoices the heart. Twisted around in society today is the promotion of unrighteousness, and they make the masses believe that rejoices the heart. So that's heightened suggestibility and direction that they gave to the brothers and sisters. But here it is, it's saying, look, wine and music does rejoice the heart, but the love of wisdom is above them both. So let's give a few examples here of music rejoicing the heart. Let's go to 2 Chronicles chapter 7 and verse 6.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 7, verse 6. And the priests waited on their offices, the Levites also with the instruments of music of the Most High, when David the king had made to praise the Most High, because his mercy endured forever. When David praised by their ministry, and the priests sounded trumpets before them, all Israel stood.
So when you talk about music and making music for the Most High, well, back then it was, okay, here we're going to give these Levites this music. They're going to play for the Lord. And while they play, you know, the king, he's making praise, giving praises all to the Most High, Ahaya. You know, and that's how we did it. That's how we played music a lot. It rejoiced the heart. So when it comes to King David and his production of music, he produced music under the Most High, under Ahaya, not as witchcraft, not as anything else. He was making instruments so that the music could be played to the Most High, for the Most High, and that the people could rejoice and praise the Most High in doing so. What other talent did David have here? Let's read, let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 6 and verse 3.
Okay. 2 Samuel chapter 6 and verse 3. And they set the ark of the Most High upon a new cart, and brought it out of the house of Abinadab, that was in Geba, and Uzzah and Ahio, the sons of Abinadab, drave the new cart. Read that again, brother. And they brought it out of the house of Abinadab, which was in Geba, accompanying the ark of the Most High, and Ahio went before the ark. And David and all of the house of Israel played before the Most High on all manner of instruments made of fir wood, even on harps, and on psalteries, and on timbrels, and on cornets, and on cymbals. And when they came to Nacon's threshing floor, Uzzah put forth his hand to the ark of the Most High, and took hold of it, for the oxen shook him. And the anger of the Most High was kindled against Uzzah, and the Most High smote him there for his error. And there he died by the ark of the Most High.
Okay, so the ark of the Most High could only be touched by Levi. That's why this brother had died. Go ahead.
And David was displeased because the Most High had made a breach upon Uzzah, and he called the name of the place Perez Uzzah to this day. And David was afraid of the Most High that day, and said, how shall the ark of the Most High come to me? So David would not remove the ark of the Most High unto him into the city of David, but David carried it aside into the house of Obed, Edom the Gittite. And the ark of the Most High continued in the house of Obed Edom the Gittite 3 months, and the Most High blessed Obed Edom and all his household. And it was told King David, saying, the Most High hath blessed the house of Obed Edom and all that pertaineth unto him, because of the ark of the Most High. So David went and brought up the ark of the Most High from the house of Obed Edom into the city of David with gladness. And it was so that when they that bear the ark of the Most High had gone 6 paces, he sacrificed oxen and fatlings. And David danced before the Most High with all his might. And David was girded with a linen ephod. So David and all the house of Israel brought the ark of the Most High with shouting and with the sound of the trumpet. And as the ark of the Most High came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw David leaping and dancing before the Most High, and she despised him in her heart.
So we all know this is the time. Let me come in real quick, and we all know this is the time where David David danced before the Lord, and he just dropped his pants. So the sister seen that. The sister seen that, and this is Saul's daughter. Okay, so she was despised. She despised him in her heart. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And they brought the ark of the Most High and set it in his place. In the midst of the tabernacle of David had pitched for it. And David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Most High. And as soon as David had made an end of offering burnt offerings and peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Most High of hosts. And he dealt among all the people, even among the whole multitude of Israel, as well to the women as men, to every one a cake of bread, and a good piece of flesh, and a flagon of wine. So all the people departed, every one to his house. Then David returned to bless his household, and Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David and said, "How glorious was the king of Israel today, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaids and his servants, as one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovereth himself." Wow.
So since David, since his pants fell, and while he's dancing, I've done this before, dance and make your pants fall. And it's not like you uncover everything where a brother or sister could see anything, but that's how the sister was taking it. Like, you uncovered yourself, man. Brothers and sisters are seeing your legs. Nobody want to see your legs. That's how she talking. Go ahead.
And David said unto Michal, "It was before the Most High which chose me before thy father, and before all his house, to appoint me ruler over the people of the Most High, over Israel. Therefore will I play before the Most High." And
David's response, he's like, look, it was before the Most High. It was before the Most High. I'm dancing and I'm playing before the Most High. So you sit here and despise me. Look, the Most High chose me before thy father. Your father wasn't even the one that was supposed to get, supposed to be king. Right? So that's his response. And he's saying, therefore will I play before the Lord. So, we had some lessons before. We were saying, the Most High is very, he don't play that often. But, he was saying that we can play before the Lord in righteousness. We can play before the Lord in righteousness. So if we want to feast before him, dance, jump around and whatever, that's fine. Let not one despise another for his day of happiness. But here it is. Here she walks up and she's despising him. "Oh, you unrighteous brother." Right? So what happened? Verse 22.
And I will yet be more vile than thus, and will be base in my own sight, and of the maidservants which thou hadst spoken of them shall I be had in honor.
And see, you sitting here trying to talk about the maidservants and the other servants, you sitting here trying to talk about the other servants, they honor me. They honor me as I honor the Most High. Because I honor the Most High, excuse me. So how you going to speak for them? Go ahead.
Therefore, Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no children unto the day of her death.
So the Most High, of course, in his fury and his wrath, if you pick on Moses, you know, you're going to catch his fury and his wrath. Same thing picking on King David. Since you picked on King David, you're not going to have no children. She was barren. Okay? So let's go to Exodus chapter 32, and we're going to show the opposite side of praying. I got the whole chapter on here. Okay, we'll do our best. Let's see where we get to, what the Most High is revealing. So let's go to Exodus chapter 32 and verse 1 and just observe, you know, yeah, we can play music, but make sure we play it under our God and no one else's. Okay? Go ahead. Let's start there.
Book of Exodus chapter 32 and verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings, which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them in their land, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it, and Aaron made proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast to the Most High.
Nah, not to the Most High. A feast to those calves.
And they rose up, and they rose up early on the morrow, and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. And the Most High said unto Moses, Go, get thee down, for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves.
See, pay close attention, because the people, it says the people have corrupted themselves. What did they do? They rose up and played, but who did they play before? The calves. So here it is, you know, people talk about, well, we can go to the club, you know, because we not committing a sin. But who you playing before? Playing with? You going to eat and drink and play, but under who? So you decide you want to go listen to this music and all that other stuff, and go play with them, You've corrupted yourself. Just drawing these lines here. You got a story with David and his righteousness, and then you got a story with the children of Israel and their unrighteousness. And make comparison. So they played before these idols. What happened? Let's keep going.
Verse 9. And the Most High said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Now therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation.
Exactly. The Most High, like, you can look at a person and see if they're stiff-necked or not. How? Because they're going to show it through their actions. They can't hide it for long. You go 12 chapters from the Ten Commandments. You're not going into another book. You go in 12 chapters from the Ten Commandments, and you finding wicked people already. They're easy to spot. Easy to spot. So behold, this is a stiff-necked people. Go ahead.
And Moses besought the Most High power and said, Most High, why doest thou wax great hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt, with great power and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from thy fierce wrath, and repent of this evil against thy people.
All right,
Remember,
and then we're going to skip down here. Actually, just go to verse 15.
Verse 15. And Moses turned and went down the mount, and the 2 tables of the testimony were in his hand. The tables were written on both sides. On the one side and the other were they written. And the tables were the work of the Most High, and the writing was the writing of the Most High, graven upon the tables. And when Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said unto Moses, there is a noise of war in the camp. And he said, it is not the noise of them that shout for mastery, neither is it the voice of them that cry for being overcome, but the noise of them that sing do I hear.
So they sing the music. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, as soon as he came nigh unto the camp, that he saw the calf, and the dancing. And Moses' anger waxed hot, and he cast the tables out of his hand, and brake them beneath the mount. And he took the calf, which they had made, and burnt it in the fire, and ground it into powder, and strawed it upon the water, and made the children of Israel. Oh, God.
Now let's get down here. Let's go to verse 24.
And I said unto them, whosoever hath any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it to me. Then I cast it into the fire. There came out this calf. And when Moses saw the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies.
Sounds familiar. Go ahead.
Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on the Most High side? Let him come unto me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him. And he said unto them, Thus saith the Most High Power of Israel, Put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor.
Okay, so you see how this was working out? That if you corrupted yourself, Moses being one of the priests and a judge in that time, kill him. We gotta cleanse the camp. There would be one time where one man would be wicked and we couldn't win a war because of wickedness. One man's wickedness and one man's sin. We couldn't proceed forward because of one man's sin. So you have to cleanse the camp. That's why it's like, that's why we as a body, as a church, have to say, okay, we have to separate people from us so we can proceed to move forward. Or else we'll be held back due to the corruption. And these things happen within communities, within nations and societies, and amongst people. You see, our sin, not only as Negroes in America, but also what's going down there now in the Dominican Republic. The Levites getting slaughtered off by their own brother, Simeon. Why? Because their sins have reached to, you can only sin so much as a people, as a nation. You can only sin so much. And then wrath comes. It's the same thing. A church, when we talk about the church, it's not just a priest and the people. Church was what was going on in the wilderness. It wasn't just Moses and the people. People had to figure out a way to survive. You had people that made clothes. You had people that made perfumes. You have different occupations in a community. Things would fail due to our unrighteousness. That's why we got kicked out of the land. That's why today we fail because of our sins. So he had to cleanse the camp. So even as a church, we got to say, okay, we can't deal with these people that's unruly. The same thing in that happened in the wilderness. Their 40-year walk. Things that happen amongst the camp. Right? In this time, in this day and age, after Christ, we're not killing people though. We just mark and avoid. Mark and avoid. Go ahead.
Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, Who is on the Most High side? Let him come unto me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him. And he said unto them, Thus saith the Most High Power of Israel, Put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. And all the children of Levi did accompany to the word of Moses, and there fell of the people that day about 3,000 men.
3,000 men dying out of the camp. So we really have to look at these things because they result, the the actions that we do as individuals affect how the community as a whole progresses. We can either put time and energy towards the Most High or put time and energy towards the wicked system. Either which way, time, the time that you use, is going towards one or the other. Energy, if you use no energy, you know who's using energy? The wicked one. If you use no energy, someone else can be using, you know, the energy that you're supposed to be using. And the Most High bestowed it upon them. Since you lack in those things. Go ahead.
For Moses had said, consecrate yourselves today to the Most High, even every man upon his son and upon his brother, that he may bestow upon you a blessing this day. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses said unto the people, ye have sinned a great sin, and now I will go up unto the Most High. Peradventure I shall make an atonement for your sin. And Moses returned unto the Most High, and said, oh, this people have sinned a great sin, and have made them gods of gold. Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book, which thou hast written. And the Most High said unto Moses, whosoever has sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book.
So we just see here a full story of, you know, what would happen in unrighteousness. And then we read earlier what would happen in righteousness. The Most High could either be for you or the Most High could either be against you. Things are very important. These things are very important that we need to pay attention to concerning music. You could either dance before the Lord or you can dance before these calves, otherwise known as Yahweh. Okay, so, and we see the exact same thing that we see in the wilderness here. We see it happening today. Are people worshiping Baal? Same thing. The people are naked before all the other nations, and that's their shame. And they look at it as not being shameful. They look at it as not being shameful. The truth is, it's a shame. And we should let them know. It's a shameful thing. Cover yourself. The other things that they promote is killing a brother. They promote adultery, covetousness. Thing you hear on the radio. Why? Because they want you one place, in prison. They want you one place, and that's in prison. They get paid there. They get paid by you being there. Continue to listen to this music. Why not dance before the Most High? Why not sing before the Most High? All the adverbs and all the different courses that they have, you know, tithing the masses. Don't subject yourself to it, and you do when you willingly listen to it. For example, you could be turning the radio dial. You know, you might have been listening to, I don't know, I don't even know what's on the radio nowadays, but you might have been listening to something, the news, and then you turn in your dial and you hear some rap music. Oh, well, let me listen to hear what they got to say for a second. What they talking about? Okay, so you listen and you're listening in, and they ain't talking about nothing but killing, stealing, adultery, and covetousness. And then all of a sudden you start singing the song, you just became subject to it. Turning the dial and saying, this is shameful. This is a shame that they got this on the radio. It's more of a shame that it's our people that's doing it. God's people that's doing it. This will lead into our next hypnotizing the masses interview. You're talking about music and frequencies. This leads into our next hypnotizing the masses interview. We're going to interview a sister and a brother that ran across what the television is doing to the people. Now we sit here and say, okay, well, yeah, it ain't doing no harm, but this television is doing more harm than it is good. And it's important before we even bring them on that brothers and sisters do, go check them out on, let me see, I got this here. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, yeah. Go check them out on awakenvideo.org, and you'll see there a video saying television and sigil magic, SIGIL, television and sigil magic. Now we invite these brothers and sisters on to share with us some information that they discovered about the television. See, we were only thinking, subliminal messaging. No, this stuff is past subliminal messaging. Worse than subliminal messaging, because just like Barack Obama, he got a skin color saying, yeah, I'm for you. The television is saying the same thing, but it's really for your destruction. And it leads into the whole talk of MKUltra. So I got a couple articles here, and we won't read them all. And if you have anything to add, go ahead and press 1 now. If you have anything to add or questions concerning television music, go ahead and press 1 now, and then we'll get to the screening the calls in a minute. But how long we got in the show?
About 28 minutes.
Say that again?
About 28 minutes.
Oh, about 28 minutes? Okay, cool. So we almost finished just in time.
Okay.
So we're going to read just a few of these articles. And again, if you have any questions, comments, or additional scriptures, just go ahead and press 1 or call in 646-200-4309 and press 1. I don't know if the chat's open, so I can't see it at least. But let's get some of these articles here. It's not open?
No, I don't believe it is.
Okay. So let's get some of these articles here. And this is from WordPress.com. This is from WordPress.com. And they're going to speak on K-Ultra. So let's read that. Let's read through this.
All right. as an artist, I think delusion is the greatest gift that you can bear. And that's a quote from Lady Gaga.
So that don't sound nothing good at all.
No.
The Most High say He gonna send strong delusion, and that's the last delusion you want. Nobody want that delusion from the Most High. So when you talk about Lady Gaga talking about, well, I'm gonna just send out to be able to give illusions is one of the greatest gifts that you can bear. That's from Lady Gaga. So you know most of the people that's listening to her is what? Delusional. Go ahead.
You're not supposed to take pop music seriously. By definition, it is fluff, pure sugar. But sugar, sweet and insubstitutional as it is, can be a dangerous thing. Music is a powerful force, and pop music holds great influence over the masses. It's worth noticing, then, what kind of messages are being broadcast to our minds via the pop music industry. Whether it's Lady Gaga portraying in insane asylums through a high fashion lens in Mary the Night, or Britney Spears posing as a laboratory marionette with tubes coming out of her bandaged fingers in Hold It Against Me. Pop stars are all pumping out the same recycled slew of mind control themes.
And that reminds me, when we talk about MK Ultra, because we're going to get a definition here out of Wikipedia here, but when you talk about Britney Spears, there's an interview that y'all should all just check out. Britney Spears is sitting there getting interviewed, and you know she's talking regular, and then next thing you know, she goes into this suburb girl. You know, she changes. I mean, of course, there's spirits behind it, but you can witness this now on live TV. She just had a spasm. It was like she spazzed out for a second, came back and said, how do I get rid of this? That's what you hear her say. How do I get this to stop?
Wow.
And yeah, so and then you hear about, you know, rappers like Little Wendy having seizures all the time. He has seizures constantly. Another guy who has seizures, I think his name is Rick Ross. You know, all these stars are having seizures. Why? You look in the scriptures, the only people that are having seizures were the possessed.
Many people may not realize that the practice of trauma-based mind control has a chilling history in the U.S. In the 1950s and 60s, the CIA conducted covert and illegal experiments on unwitting citizens, now declassified and known as Project MK Ultra. The published evidence indicates that Project MK Ultra was a government-funded operation created with the goal of studying various methods of mind control, using the surreptitious administration of drugs and other chemicals, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse, as well as various forms of torture.
So when you look at MK Ultra and what they were doing to, you know,
in their studying method, what they were trying to do was what? Administer drugs and other chemicals. It also has in here hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse, which goes on rapid in this society, as well as various forms of torture. Torture can come in many ways. What you see here, brothers and sisters, they've been practicing this since the 1950s and has declassified all their information concerning MK Ultra. We got to get some more information on this because MK Ultra is used through the media, through music. You know, you hear about this, that little girl that's under, I mean, these are some sad cases, but Nicki Minaj, you look at some of her videos, she just admits there's other spirits dwelling within her. And she tells these spirits to come and go as they please. So in turn, you listening to one who's, you know, possessed and dealing with spirits, familiar spirits, you listening to this, and it's going in your ear daily, and they switching up being different people all the time. What's going to happen to you? You are your environment, unless you shape your environment in order to circumcise the heart. You have to have a change of mind, which is what? Repentance. And it's hard for you to change your mind when other people got control of it. Can you hear me there? Hello?
Okay, so Salakia, brother, since I had the call dropped, Brother X, I had to call back in. But we're back on. We're back up.
All right. Sounds good. So, yeah, we was at Project MK Ultra was first brought.
Okay. Project MK Ultra was first brought to public attention in 1975 by the U.S. Congress through the investigations by the Church Committee and by a presidential commission known as the Rockefeller Commission.
We all know who Rockefeller is. And that was a presidential commission. So MK Ultra was first brought to the public attention in 1975. By then, they was already 20 or 30 years into it. They were already 20 and 30 years into MK Ultra. What is MK Ultra? Let's go to Wikipedia. We're going to look at Project MK Ultra. Let's look at that.
All right. Project MK Ultra is the code name of an illegal U.S. government human resource operation experimenting in the behavioral engineering of humans through the CIA's Scientific Intelligence Division.
It throws it off right in front of your face. Illegal U.S. government human research operation. That just sounds terrible.
Okay.
That sounds terrible because MK Ultra is being used on a mass level Okay, well, go ahead. Let's keep reading it here.
Mhm. The program began in the early 1950s, was officially sanctioned in 1953, was reduced in scope in 1964, further curtailed in 1967, and officially halted in 1973. The program engaged in many illegal activities. In particular, it used unwitting U.S. and Canadian citizens as its test subjects, which led to controversy regarding its legitimacy. MK Ultra involved the use of many methodologies to manipulate people's mental states and alter brain functions, including the, did we read this already, brother? Pituous administration of drugs, especially LSD, and other chemicals, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse, as well as various forms of torture.
Yep. So there you go. Just, two witnesses. That's all.
Okay.
Go ahead and get that next.
Keep going.
That
All
next
right. Several secret U.S. government projects grew out of Operation Paperclip. These projects included Project Chatter and Project Bluebird, which was renamed Project Artichoke in 1951. Their purpose was to study mind control, interrogation, behavior modification, and related topics.
There you go. All of these scientists from Germany imported all these scientists from Germany into the United States. Okay? These projects are, read that next verse. That next paragraph.
The project studied hypnosis, forced morphine addiction, and subsequent forced withdrawal, and the use of other chemicals, among other methods, to produce amnesia and other vulnerable states in subject.
There you go. Look at this. This is just showing you they putting all of the masses on drugs, forced medications, and addictions to produce what? Amnesia and vulnerable states, to leave you vulnerable, wide open for attack. All right? They telling you in here that they saying, look, we studied hypnosis. We've been studying it since the 1950s. I wonder when the first television came out. Okay, we can skip through this part right here. This is all good right here. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 6, and we're going to start at verse 12. We'll get our last few scriptures here. And if you have any questions or anything to add, call in 646-200-4309 or press the number 1. All right? Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10.
All right. I'm right there. I'm up. Right there. Ephesians 6:10. Book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Okay, so we here saying, look, finally, brethren, my brothers and sisters, be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. And we telling everyone, put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. But remember, how can you defend yourself when you don't know who the enemy is? How can you defend yourself and you accepting the very thing that's seducing you by the enemy? So to bring in remembrance, we are not in our own land. That's one strike against us. And the whole point of us being called out of Babylon is to go where? Eventually to make it into our land. And first and foremost, while you're on this walk, you put on the whole armor, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Why do we need this armor? Verse 12.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Yes, we are in a dark time, brothers and sisters. We are in a dark time. We are almost in the midst. Well, we are in the midst of darkness, but we, as operators and servants in the Lord, are a light. And we should be a light in this dark world. But don't be subject to their principalities. Don't be subject to their powers. Don't be subject to their spiritual wickedness in high places. Why? You taking off your armor. You taking off your armor. Put on your armor. Go ahead.
Verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness.
So he's about to tell what the armor is, and that way you can stand in the evil day, because eventually it's going to come. And you either going to be subject under it, right, and partake in the evil, or you're going to reveal it and say, yes, this is evil and this will not be done amongst me and my house. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord, right? Keep reading. And then when we talk about the armor, we're talking about what? Girding your loins about with the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So that means all up in your stomach area, or in your pockets, front pockets and back pockets, you need to have that truth with you at all times. Go ahead.
And your feet shod.
Breastplate of righteousness. What is that? The circumcision of the heart. That's the breastplate of righteousness. Because if your heart is circumcised to seek out righteousness, that's what you're going to do. That is your defense. The Lord is your defense. And he will also play the offense for you. Go ahead.
And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
Your feet moving forward towards, actually prepared with the gospel of peace. So you're not moving anything with you're not moving forward in the intentions to sin or the intentions to war. You moving forward with the intentions of to give the good news of the peace that's to come. Go ahead.
Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked.
And the shield of faith is, since your faith is dead without works, the shield of faith is, you walking in the truth, in those laws, statutes, and commandments, with one destination on you, with one thing on your mind. You a pilgrim amongst this earth, and you seeking out the kingdom. Verse 17.
And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High.
So that helmet of salvation means your mind is on salvation and things concerning it. Your mind is on salvation and things concerning it. And we all know what that sword is, right? Which is the word of the Most High, that Bible. That's the sword.
Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for the saints.
So you see all this, it's like, get self together, praying always while you're getting self together, and making self-supplication for all the saints, and persevering with all the saints. All right? Spiritual wickedness in high places, and we have to stay girded. We have to keep that armor on. So let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 10, and then we'll go to the callers after that.
We're back. Deacon Xavier, you still with me?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 10. If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power to keep his commandments and his statutes, which are written in this book of the law, and if thou turn unto the Most High thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul, for this commandment which I command thee this day, it is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven, that thou shouldest say, who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. Neither is it beyond the sea, that thou shouldest say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. And that I command thee this day to love the Most High thy power, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. And the Most High thy power shall bless thee in the land, whither thou goest to possess it. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods, and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, whither thou passest over the Jordan to go to possess it. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live, that thou mayest love the Most High thy power, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life, and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land, which the Lord swore unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. Thus saith the Lord.
All praise to the Most High. Hari Bashim Shaya. So that's the lesson on youth. We do pray everyone had well edification concerning it, and hopefully it does help out on your walk in righteousness and your striving in righteousness. So, do we got any callers?
One just popped up. One just popped up. We can pull him right in. Shalom, caller from the 910 area code. Do you have a question or comment?
Hey, yeah, Shalawam, brothers. How y'all doing?
Good, brother. Yourself.
Yeah, it's a
How you
good
doing tonight,
lesson, man. Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good, man. That was a good lesson y'all put together, man. Good information, man. I wish a lot of people could hear this, man. Could hear this truth that's being brought out, man. Because a lot of our people, man, are just like y'all, like it was brought out, man. They dancing in darkness, man. Dancing with the enemy. You know what I'm saying? And I see these things going on, especially in the area where I stay. You know, everybody wants to be a music producer. Everybody wants to have all the money and this, that, and the third, and they'll do whatever it takes to get to their status. And it's, you know what I'm saying, sadly we see our people, you know what I'm saying, fall victim to this you know, to this pursuit. You know what I'm saying? No matter what they do, they'll do it to attain it. You know what I'm saying? Breaking the laws. You know what I'm saying? Betraying others, betraying their loved ones. You know what I'm saying? I see it all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? Being in this truth, man, when you're in this truth and your eyes are wide open and you see these things and you see up to this system, man, victim to the music industry. You know what I'm saying? And the subliminal, the evil subliminal messages it puts out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The truth is in the streets, man. The truth is out there, man. And our people still choose, you know what I'm saying, the left side. They still, you know what I'm saying, want to pursue riches on the left side.
Right.
When the Most High, when we try to tell them, look, man, the Most High, seek the kingdom, man. Seek his righteousness, man, and all these things will be added to you. But they want to go off. They don't want to listen, man. You know what I'm saying? I wish a lot of people could hear, you know what I'm saying? I wish a lot of people could hear, tune in to Blog Talk and hear the truth, man. I really do.
Mm-hmm. The what you were just saying, brother, how everybody wants to go off to the left. The part that he brought out in the information about the brother that was sitting in on a secret meeting, how they just, you know, made the, you know, they privatized the prisons, you know, and they directed the music to, you know, to make the prison houses full, you know, to put stuff out there to hypnotize the masses, you know. So that's, you know, one of the reasons why I like the information came out, because that's, you know, that's something that we have to be aware of in, you know, in this culture, man. That was a very good point you made, brother.
Mm-hmm. And all praise to the Most High for you brothers, man. Y'all continue to do the work, and by you brothers doing the work, it inspires me and encourages me to keep doing the work where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So, man, all praise is due to the Father, man. And I also wanted to say, man, like it's been like y'all, like I heard y'all say earlier, man. It was some rappers, man, out there these entertainers out there having these terrible incidents befalling them, like having seizures, man. You know, Chris Brown, he had one several weeks back. You know what I'm saying? He did the same thing befell him, man. You know what I'm saying? And this guy done dyed his hair and got tatted up and all type of stuff.
Wow. That seizure thing is related to, you know, hypnosis also.
Mm-hmm.
Related to hypnosis also, you know, the body breaking down, you know, due to, I mean, with all that they do, the room with flashing lights and fans screaming every other week. So that's killing you off, man. I mean, back then we wasn't doing stuff like this, and we don't need. It's not a necessity. So like you saying and you stressing, man. It's a war out here, and people playing on the wrong side.
Yep. Like I said, and it's, you know, I'm just gonna say, I don't want to be too long, but you know, like, you know, you notice, like, now you're seeing a lot of these well-known rappers like Drake and Jay-Z and all these high rappers, man. They got a lot of Jewish people in their videos now. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I found that profound. I'm like, man, I'm seeing a lot of these Jewish characters, man, just popping up, you know, in these music videos. They, you know, riding along in their front seat with them and dancing and stuff in their videos, and it's great.
Yeah, about that is that you know, Drake is Jewish, and he's rapping about songs, you know, like I'm hearing this one song that he created talking about started at the bottom, now we here, something like that. I don't know.
That's one of them videos he had some Jewish folks in there, man. They had all type of satanic symbols in it. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at all this stuff. I'm like, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he's Jewish. He's Jewish. And then and on top of that, I was looking at some videos from out of Israel. And you know how they dress in all black. The Israelis or the Jewish people dress in all black. These dudes, they pretend to be rap stars. They out there pretending like they hit poses in cameras, like, you know how if you about to take a picture, you cross your arms and, you know, like you all smooth and GQ and stuff like that's what they doing.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to be just like us.
Yep. Yeah, you know, folks are, you know, we just gotta, man, we just gotta stay prayed up for our people, man, and man, because it's when you see it going on before you, man, this evil unfolding, man, especially in the city of Memphis, man. It's people going. I hear it. It's all in the. It's just a word on the streets now. You know, be a rapper. You know, do this and do that to attain a level of status or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it takes. You know, killing off your people. You know, selling drugs. You know, prostituting women and doing all that, man. All this stuff, man. Everything they singing about in these rap songs, man, is going against the law, statutes, and commandments, man.
Huh?
Terrible.
All right. That's some good points you brought out, brother. You know, we thank you for calling in, and you know we appreciate your support. What was your name again, brother?
Bro. All right, this brother Richard, man. I spoke with I spoke with brother X before. So y'all brothers, man. I just thank y'all, man. Y'all continue to do the work, man.
Okay, brother.
Yeah, brother. Give me a call. I got a new number, so you ready?
Yeah, man. I've been trying to. I had called you. Yeah, give me a new number.
331.
Okay.
442.
Okay.
4622.
46, what?
4622.
4622. I got you. I got you, Art.
Okay, cool. We for so long, you sound so different.
Yeah, man. Just been, just been hanging in there, man, staying focused on the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? Going through the little trials and tribulations, man, and just it's making me stronger, man. You know what I'm saying? So doing the work as well, man. So I'm there with you, brothers.
All right, brother.
All right, we'll talk soon.
All right.
All right, brother. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right. There's a couple more callers here. Let's go to the next one here. Shalom. Caller from the 313 area code. You have a question or comment?
I got a comment. Shalom, Brother Xavier. This is Brother Sean out of Red.
Brother Sean, shalom. What's going on? What's the good news?
Yeah, I just got to, let me pull up this definition of stage hypnosis. Hold on.
Okay, that sounds good.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Stage hypnosis is performed in front of an artist for the purpose of entertainment, usually in a theater or a club. Expert opinion is divided over whether participants respond as the best explained as the being due to an altered state of conscious, hypnotic trance, or by a combination of deliberate deception and ordinary social psychology factors such as disorientation, compliances, peer pressure, and ordinary suggestions. I'm going to just keep it short like that. And one thing I wanted to say is that a lot of people that get in this hypnosis thing is they're being peer pressured. You know how people could be peer pressured into things. You know how they just come across the things that's going on out in the world and they get caught up in it because their peers are doing and they think it's cool and they want to do the same thing that everybody else is doing. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to put that out there because a lot of people out there today, they might be good. They might, might want to be in the truth for something, but since their peers are doing something in their neighborhood or whatever, the community, what they're doing, they want to do the same thing as everybody else. It's the same for people that's in the game also, too. So, I just wanted to put that definition out there.
Okay, brother. That was good.
All right.
Good information, brother.
All right, shalom.
Praise the Father. Shalom, brother. Thank you for calling.
All right.
Shalom.
That's something to look into right there, because stage hypnosis is, repeat after me.
One of the things, there's one more caller in the queue from area code 612. We're going to get you in 1 second. One of the points that you, with the information that we were reading, when it said psychological warfare or the basic aspects of modern psychological operations, it said, had the acronym out there. But one of the things that caught my eye was when it said political warfare.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. So it's just telling you right there that it's politics. That they're using that, they're using that method within political warfare as a type of hypnosis.
See, and this is definitely what it means by principalities, spiritual places. These things we can't fight. You know, it's spiritual warfare, but it's the devil throwing at you and you not throwing nothing back.
Mm-hmm.
So you either let your defenses down, you know, or you stay armored up, and
Right.
that's what we're suggesting tonight. Just stay armored, keep that armor on.
Mm-hmm. All right, bro. Let's grab this last caller. Shalom, caller from the 612 area code. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, brother. Shalom.
All right.
Brother X. What's your name, brother?
Brother Kazak.
Kazan. Yeah, I know Brother Xavier. Yeah, this is Damon calling from the 612. Anytime y'all see 612, I'm calling from up north, up here in the sixth richest state, which is Minnesota, which is a European state. 12 tribes of Israel, 12,000 out of each tribe got to rise up and fight, you know, in the wilderness, though, you know, which I know is going to make it to the wilderness. It's prophecy that they got to rise up and fight. A lot of the people and a lot of things that's going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm watching the BET 2013 awards, you know, Michael Jackson said they don't really care about us, you know, but they still not catching on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to party. Everybody want to go out and, you know, the new generation, they can't help it because of what our forefathers did. They don't even know. So, like, when you know, when more of our brothers get together and start fighting, you know, daily, like me, I'm going to fight daily. I'm studying daily more and more, you know. So, I don't even see through the same eye no more. You know, and it doesn't even matter, like, you know, if I don't have nobody by me up here where I'm at, I'm willing to do what it takes to get with brothers that want to fight, you know. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be on the street corner telling people the truth, whatever, you know, our kids must be saved.
Right.
You know, I definitely got two beautiful twin daughters. They about to be 12 years old and they not around me. Now, I don't know whether or not they're going to be in my life when it's time for me to move from here, but I have to do my best to try to reach their attention, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and see if they want to make a decision. You know, they were saying that the Gates family coming out with stupid bracelets to put on children's hands so they can, you know, keep an eye on them in the schools and know if they learn in certain subjects or not, which I feel like is dumb.
Right.
You know,
right.
They want to keep
that earlier.
Yeah, they want to. So basically, they want to push the system. You know, they want to push. You know, the people behind. You know, saying he's gay. All the people in the president, whatever, Bill Clinton, Bush, whatever they are, they all gay on the low. They all satanic. They don't care about us. You know. And they all down with the people that's making computers and run TV. They have us thinking that they even have people in the churches selling internet and cable and all that. They be pushing lies, pushing the fact that computers gonna stay on for 20 more years and all that, so we can just be still and dumb, you know. So I just, you know, I'm at war 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get in the door and get with some strong brothers, you know,
brother.
And take this, you know, seriously.
Did you get the number earlier? You got some, you know, some brothers up your way. Did you get that toll-free number?
Yeah, I got brother. Okay. Brother X got me. You know who I am. Xavier.
Okay, cool. Good.
I just wanted to say, you know, I ain't trying to hold you up, but that's all I wanted to say. You know, I'm in the fight 24 hours a day.
Okay, brother. All right, brother. We appreciate you. Appreciate you calling in.
Yep.
Shalom.
Now me too. Yep. Shalom.
All right. Brother Deacon X, you still with me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep. That was the last call in the queue there. I didn't have anything else to add to one point. I brought out, you know, after the last caller about the political warfare that stood out to me, and, you know, that, one thing, what the brother that just, that we were just speaking to, what he brought out about the BET Awards, you know, and as soon as he said that, I just saw that award, you know, what they get when they win the award, it's like it's like a rising star. It looks like a rising star with the, you know, the 5-pointed star at the top. I was like, man, that's just crazy. Right. You know, which is the symbol of their, you know, they put the star right in the BET logo anyway, you know.
Yeah, they telling us that. See, we thinking subliminal, man. They telling us right in front of our face.
Yep.
So we losing.
Right. And that was right on point.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's all behind that, you know, a big part of it is, you know, behind that music and what they trying to, you know, run us, and they put it in every little part, you know, from the time you're small, like you were saying, you know, little jingles that you remember from Sesame Street and all that, you know, up into your adulthood.
Man, that's crazy.
Yep. That's it, bro.
Jingle.
You know. So that was the last call. Go ahead, brother.
No, that's it. We can call it a night.
All right, that's it. We can close out, and, you know, I say, you know, shalom and blessings to my, you know, brothers and sisters out there, and, you know, enjoy your coming into the next Sabbath, Feast of Dedications, and, you know, all praise to the Most High. Did you want to add anything, brother?
Hi, about them, Yaiqawab. I'll be blessed and continue strong. Shalom.
Shalom.